If you don't act by August 1st, 2025, you could be paying double or triple for these 6 essential prepper items. Or worse, you might not be able to find them at all. In the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal the 6 critical supplies that are about to become scarce and expensive due to global supply chain disruptions, rising tariffs, and geopolitical tensions. I'll explain exactly why each item is at risk, when the price hikes are expected to hit, and most importantly, what you need to do right now to protect yourself and your family. Welcome to Food Fixer, where we help you prepare for whatever life throws your way. If this information helps you save money and stay prepared, hit that like button and subscribe for more prepping insights that could save you hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Let's start with the most critical item that affects everything else in your preparedness plan: fuel supplies. Right now, we're seeing a perfect storm brewing that's going to send fuel prices through the roof. Crude oil prices are climbing steadily, and here's why that matters to you. When crude goes up, everything from gasoline to diesel to heating oil follows. But it's not just about current prices, it's about what's coming. Domestic production is actually decreasing in several key regions, which means we're becoming more dependent on imports. And with geopolitical tensions escalating around the world, those supply lines are looking more vulnerable every day. We've already seen what happens when major shipping routes get disrupted. Remember the Suez Canal blockage? That was just a taste of what could happen on a larger scale. Here's what you need to do immediately. Top off every gas can you have. Don't wait for prices to drop because they're not dropping anytime soon. If you have backup generators, make sure they're serviced and ready to go, and fill up those fuels. tanks now while prices are still relatively manageable. The same goes for propane tanks. Whether you use them for grilling, heating, or backup cooking, refill them now. I'm talking about doing this within the next few weeks, not months. The second critical item is clean, drinkable water, and this one's becoming more urgent by the day. We're seeing an alarming increase in extreme weather events, droughts that last longer and hit harder, heat waves that stress municipal water systems beyond their limits, and infrastructure failures that leave entire communities without safe drinking water. Just look at what's been happening across the country. Boil water notices are becoming almost routine in some areas. When the power goes out during storms, water treatment plants can't function properly. When pipes burst from extreme temperature swings, contamination becomes a real threat. And during natural disasters, clean water is often the first thing to become unavailable and the last thing to be restored. You need to build your water storage reserves now, and I'm not talking about just a few bottles in your pantry. Calculate at least 1 gallon per person per day for a minimum of 2 weeks. That's 14 gallons per person just for drinking, cooking, and basic hygiene. But storage isn't enough. You need reliable purification systems because stored water won't last forever, and you might need to purify water from questionable sources. Invest in quality water filters, purification tablets, and, if possible, a UV sterilization system. These aren't luxuries anymore. They're necessities. Now let's talk about food supplies, and this is where things get really concerning. We're looking at anticipated food price spikes that are going to hit multiple categories simultaneously. The biggest immediate threat is coming from potential tariffs on Brazilian imports. Brazil supplies a massive portion of our coffee and orange juice, and if those tariffs hit as expected, you're looking at price increases of 30 to 50% almost overnight. But it's not just imports. Crop yields for several staple foods are down this year due to weather conditions and other factors. Peaches, for example, are seeing significantly reduced harvests, which means fresh fruit prices are going to spike before the preserved and processed versions follow suit. The ripple effect is already starting. When fresh food becomes more expensive, demand shifts to canned and frozen alternatives, driving those prices up too. Your action plan here needs to be comprehensive. Start stocking your pantry with staples that have long shelf lives and multiple uses. Rice, beans, pasta, canned vegetables, and protein sources like canned meat and fish should be priority purchases. But don't forget about the items you use daily that might seem less critical. Spices, cooking oils, baking supplies. These might seem minor, but when prices double, you'll be glad you stocked up. If you have the space and capability, now's the time to get serious about preserving food. Buy seasonal produce while it's still affordable and learn to can, dehydrate, or freeze it properly. The fourth critical category is medications and first aid supplies, and this one could literally be a matter of life and death. The uncomfortable truth is that most of our medications and medical supplies are produced overseas, making them vulnerable to the same tariff increases and supply chain disruptions affecting everything else. We're already seeing shortages of common over-the-counter medications, and it's going to get worse before it gets better. When tariffs increase the cost of imported medical supplies, manufacturers don't absorb those costs. They pass them directly to consumers. And unlike other products where you might be able to find substitutes or go without, medications aren't optional. You need to build a solid stockpile of essential over-the-counter medications now. Pain relievers, fever reducers, antihistamines, stomach medications, first aid supplies, buy them in bulk while prices are still reasonable. For prescription medications, work with your doctor and pharmacy to get ahead of potential shortages. Many insurance plans allow you to get 90-day supplies instead of 30-day supplies, and some will let you refill prescriptions early if you explain the situation. Don't wait until you're down to your last few pills to think about this. The fifth critical area is electronics and solar gear, and if you're planning to invest in power independence, you need to act now. New tariffs are targeting electronic components and devices, which means everything from rechargeable batteries to solar panels to portable power stations are about to get significantly more expensive. Think about it. Almost every piece of modern preparedness equipment relies on electronics in some way. Communication devices, power storage systems, water purification equipment, even basic tools often have electronic components. When those components become more expensive, everything that uses them follows suit. The supply chain disruptions we're already seeing are making things worse. It's not just about higher prices, it's about availability. When you can't get the components to manufacture these devices, they simply become unavailable at any price. Right now you can still find what you need, but that window is closing fast. Your priority purchases should include backup batteries for all your devices, and I mean quality rechargeable batteries, not cheap disposables. Solar chargers that can keep your communications and essential devices powered during extended outages. Portable power stations that can run critical appliances when the grid goes down. These aren't toys or conveniences anymore. They're essential infrastructure for modern preparedness. The final critical category might surprise some people, but clothing and footwear are about to become significantly more expensive due to increased tariffs on imported textiles and materials. Most people don't think about clothing as a preparedness item, but good quality work gear, weather-appropriate clothing, and durable footwear are absolutely essential for long-term resilience. We're already seeing price increases in work gear and everyday clothing, and it's accelerating. The timing couldn't be worse. We're heading into back-to-school season, which creates additional demand pressure right when supply costs are rising. Parents are going to feel this one especially hard. Here's what you need to prioritize. Work gloves. Buy several pairs of quality work gloves because cheap ones fall apart quickly and won't be there when you need them most. Boots. Both work boots and weather-appropriate footwear for your family. A good pair of boots can last for years if you buy quality, but cheap boots will fail you when conditions get tough. Seasonal clothing that fits your climate and situation. If you live somewhere with harsh winters, don't wait until October to buy winter gear. If you're in a hot climate, make sure you have adequate sun protection and breathable work clothing. Don't forget about basic items that wear out regularly, but that you might not think to stock up on. Socks, underwear, basic t-shirts. These might seem trivial, but they're going to get more expensive, and having a good supply means you won't have to worry about shopping for basics when you should be focused on more important things. The key message here is timing. Every one of these categories is going to become more expensive and potentially harder to find as we move through 2025. The price increases aren't coming someday, they're coming in the next few months. August 1st isn't an arbitrary date, it's when many of these factors are expected to converge and create the perfect storm of higher prices and reduced availability. You have a choice to make right now. You can act on this information and get ahead of the curve, or you can wait and hope things work out. But hoping isn't a strategy, and waiting is going to cost you money you don't need to spend and potentially put you in a position where you simply can't get what you need. The smart move is to prioritize these 6 categories and take action now. Start with the most critical items for your situation. Fuel and water are usually the top priorities. Then work through food, medications, electronics, and clothing based on your specific needs and budget. Remember, this isn't about panicking or hoarding. This is about being smart and proactive. You're making investments in your family's security and financial well-being by buying these items now instead of paying inflated prices later. If this information has been helpful, Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Food Fixer for more practical preparedness advice that can save you money and keep your family safe. What items are you planning to stock up on first? Let us know in the comments below, and remember, the best time to prepare was yesterday, but the second best time is right now.